Talking Reds, it's Friday. I'm not Kev Walsh. I have just as much hair as Kev Walsh, but I am not Kev Walsh. But this is Andy Heaton, and we are with you to talk through the latest Liverpool news, even though there's not that much of it. But we're going to start off talking about Fabinho. Basically, Fabinho's been talking to the club, Andy's been talking to Liverpool's website, and basically saying how he thinks his season went good. That's the word he used, and I think we'd all agree. He said basically that he knew there would be a learning and settling in period, and it didn't last that long, but it wasn't easy starting afresh, and that he was a bit gutted that he was left out for a few games.
Yeah, well, listen, any season that ends up holding the European Cup's a good season, in my eyes. And look, I mean, he wouldn't be the first to have I wouldn't even say a slow start, but he wouldn't be the first Liverpool signing to take a while to be integrated into the team. Sorry, excuse me. We saw that last season with Oxlade-Chamberlain. We've seen it with other players. Andy Roberts didn't really get a game until the turn of the year when he first arrived. So
took Moreno to get injured as well, if you remember.
It did. Moreno was in really good form, yeah. So I mean, sliding doors and all that, but you can't really turn around and say he hasn't had a good season. I think, if he would have come in at the level that he ended the season with, he would have been running for maybe one of the players of the season for us.
Yeah.
When you see what he brings to the side, I think there's a calmness there that he brings. He's got a range of passing, which is underrated, because everyone just thinks he's this destroyer. And also he can play a bit. I remember and he seemed to be really good under pressure. The Barcelona game at Anfield, when we were 4-0 up in the last few minutes and it needed the calm head, it was mainly him and James Milner were going all right sound. And to have the courage to take the ball from the middle of the pitch and drive through when all it would have took is one mistake to let Barcelona in, shows his intelligence, his bravery and his technical ability. My favourite Fabinho fact.
Wow.
He played in the same team as Xabi Alonso for Real Madrid.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yep. Earlier in his career.
How old was he?
I thought very young, and he still looked as old as he does now, because he's still young, but he looks about 30, which is mad.
Yeah, he does. Scott Lovren.
But no, he was at Real Madrid B, or whatever they called it. They had a bit of an injury crisis or whatever, and ended up playing the first team game with Xabi Alonso. There you go.
Oh, I like that. That's a fun Fabinho fact.
Into that?
Yeah,
Into that?
I am. Do you know what I'll say about Fabinho is I feel like we need to give him a little bit more credit, because the way I saw Fabinho's importance for me was Man City.
Yes.
Away last season. So if you think about it, the season before we relied on our lovely midfield, our very reliable midfield of Gini, James Milner and Henderson, and you can't really knock them, to be honest. They've done such an amazing job for Liverpool, but obviously with the season we've had, the level had gone up a notch, the intensity had gone up a notch, and the midfield three started and everyone was pretty much okay with it, but it took Fabinho coming on, I think, and he come on, I don't know if it was at half time or just after, come on fairly early towards the second half, and he changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot about how Liverpool have evolved in midfield.
Well, they all push each other. I think one of the biggest compliments you can pay Fabinho and every other member of the midfield they're trying to get in is, look at the difference in Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season.
They raise each other.
Yeah, they raise each other, and also, but not only has he raised them or pushed them on. I mean, that's the easy rhetoric, isn't it? But he's given Jordan Henderson the freedom, if you will, to express himself a little bit more, be a little bit more assertive up the pitch. And we've certainly reaped the benefits of that.
Yeah,
so Mark's out of 10 for the first season. I'll give it a solid 8.5 now.
8.5? You've got to push him up to 9 because he's just lifted the European Cup.
He said himself though, didn't he? The first couple of months of the season.
He's coming in and doing a different job, isn't he, than what he did at Monaco. He was dropping back a lot, and Klopp was basically saying to him, move away from Virgil van Dijk. Now, I love Virgil van Dijk, and I'd stand next to him all day, so I don't blame you. I don't blame Fabinho.
I'm just a hard taskmaster. No, hardly anyone gets more than 5. I'm likely to keep. No one normally gets more than a 5 out of 10 for me, so to get 8.5, well,
God, Andy, you're so cruel.
I know. Well,
He also had a couple of words. He had a nice couple of words to say about Mane, saying he was really impressive. Nothing really new. He said how they get along really well. And they speak French to each other when they're in training, when they're outside of training, and because Fabinho's still not that confident in his English.
Do you reckon they have little private jokes that they don't let anyone else in on? Like they'll just be sat there giggling in the corner in Melwood, and everyone's going, what are you laughing at? And they're going, I know.
Oh, I think it's so cute, and I studied A-level French, so I want to be included, even though I won't know what you're saying. Just pretend, and I'll go with it, because I want to be your best mate too.
One final thing on Fabinho though as well.
Shiny head.
No. Why would no? I mean, I know Kev's not here. That's a bit harsh. Come on. But no, he looks resplendent in the new away kit because he was one of the sharp.
I will give him that.
Very sharp.
I mean, him and Alisson, bar is set high there.
We've had this discussion about Alisson. What if Pepe comes back?
Sorry, I love you, Pepe. No, Pepe. No, a conversation for another day, a dream for another day. We've got an app, we've got a new app, and it's fabulous, and it's really smart. We've put loads of hard work into it. Here's a little video about it. Talking Reds, and Andy AC Milan apparently are not looking at Dejan or Dexy as much as they were, because apparently they're interested in, bear with me, Roma centre half Costas Manolas.
Manolas, yeah. No, the cool.
Say it like Spanish, and he's not even Spanish.
Well, looks well, according to various reports, they're cooling on the big dog, which I'm quite happy about because I think Dejan Lovren's a good centre half. I think he'd be handy to keep around. You never know what games Milan are playing though. It could be a bargain and tactic or whatever. Yeah, I mean, he's a funny one, Costas Manolas. He was very highly rated. He got absolutely destroyed at Anfield last year. Didn't have the best game, but he scored the decisive goal against Barcelona in the Champions League last year when Roma came back, which put them through to the game against us.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a bit of a serendipity. There's a bit of sliding doors and all that. Second time I've said sliding doors today. There you go, on my mind.
It's a good film.
Yeah, I know he's highly rated, dominant centre half. Tends, from what I've seen him play, switches off every now and again. Hasn't looked half as convincing without the best goal in the world behind him this year, to be quite honest. But then again, who would? So yeah, I mean, it very much seems like Milan are in for a centre half, and they have a list of a few. Be interested to see whether Rome would be willing to sell to a rival as well.
Yeah, that's another thing that obviously you've got to sort of put into play, isn't it? And I think I was very much, I don't know if I think I was a bit naive. I have turned around a little bit, I've changed my opinion on not necessarily Lovren as a player, but what we do with Lovren. I think if Dejan Lovren goes, it's because he's not happy sitting on a bench. I think if he is happy to sit on a bench, I think we should just keep him. And I've changed my mind on that.
If he goes, you've got to replace him, basically.
So that's what I was thinking. Yeah. If Dejan Lovren goes to Liverpool, look at this Costas Manolas, and actually how much of a replacement is it? Is he better? Do you know what I mean? Is it a case of just a new name? Because I think sometimes with Lovren, you know, I do the same. You feel like you put a lot on Lovren, and you have this expectation of when he comes on, you go, oh God, what if he does this? What if he does that?
Do you think he's tainted by a couple of poor games early on in his career for Liverpool? And also that game against Spurs away, when he had to get hooked.
Yeah.
He had a horrible half. But to be fair, since then, I mean, since that game, one must stick a pin in that game since then, I think he's been exemplary, hasn't let anyone down. The mad thing is about this is that they're saying we want 25 million for Lovren, Milan aren't willing to pay it, but Costas Manolas, the release clause is 32 million.
Oh, right.
Bit weird, innit?
Well, that I think that just shows that they're kind of desperate for a centre half. They
well, I mean,
to pay.
if Dejan Lovren does go, Liverpool will have to certainly look at replacing him. Who would replace him? I mean, God knows. I mean, look, we're talking about transfers coming out of nowhere. We're talking about Fabinho at the top of the show.
Yeah.
No one had that. No one had that. And then next day, well, not even the next day.
2 days later, when after Kiev.
Yeah, literally within an hour of Liverpool rumoured to he's signed.
Yeah.
So,
such good business. And speaking of business, apparently Bayern Munich are cooling their interest on Timo Werner.
Yeah.
Does this actually mean anything for Liverpool, or I don't know?
Well, certain people might think that Liverpool will be interested to do host shows containing transfers on the Anfield wrap. But no, you
don't know what that is at all.
You could see why Liverpool would be interested. He's young, he's got a decent goal scoring record, can play off the front or up front. You can see why Bayern Munich maybe are reluctant to sign him this season because they can get him for a free next year.
Yeah.
But then that frees up other clubs to come in and tempt Leipzig with an offer. I mean, personally, I think if a team does come in for Timo Werner, Bayern Munich will change their mind very, very quickly and come in and secure him. I think they're bargaining on the likes of the European champions not coming in for him, or other big clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, well stocked. That end of the pitch, I think, don't think particularly suit that style of play. Maybe Man United, who knows? But look, I don't think he'd be the worst acquisition in the world. But I think he will eventually end up at Bayern Munich.
And the Bills are saying that potentially he could sign a new contract with Leipzig.
Yeah, well, that's been rumbling on for about 9 months. I think I forget his name, forgive me, the chief executive or president of Leipzig's come out and said, no, he's leaving. Unless he signs a new contract, we are going to sell him. They've been trying to get him to sign this contract now for 18 months. Yeah. And it's not happened, but it's football, who knows?
Yeah, and just a quick one before we go. There's loads of lovely new Champions League tops on our website, on the shop. I was meant to have one to hold up, so we'll just pretend our camera guy, our graphics guy, is really good, but I don't know if he can do it, so we'll just pretend, but they're bloody lovely. So have a little look at that, and a couple of shows that are out today. Weekend is already out. Looked back at like the fixtures, obviously the fixtures that come out yesterday.
Chelsea Grimes on the Women's World Cup.
Chelsea Grimes on the Women's World Cup is a really good one. Hopefully going to be checking in a little bit more with Chelsea over the course of the World Cup. That show that we didn't mention with the host that loves Timo Werner and Nabil Fekir, it's called The Gutter, and it's out today as well. And as usual, AFQ. But other than that, have a great weekend, and I'll say up the Reds, even though there's no Reds around, but we'll go with it anyway.
Up the Reds.